All right, welcome back, everyone. So sorry about what happened previously. It looks like there was a glitch in terms of the PlayStation Network, and the lobby completely glitched for everyone. It stopped my broadcast unintentionally. On my part, I mean, like I couldn't get it up and running again and all that sort of thing. So it just stopped completely. So that's why it was cut short, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. That's how it all goes. So yeah, there was a little bit of a glitch there. We're all good. We're back up and racing. The drivers are just about to get into the new lobby. We are back for the commentary. This is part 2, so there'll be a sprint qualifying stream, and then there'll be a race stream as well. So I guess that kind of works out in that way. But yeah, there was a little bit of a glitch that affected things, and it happened, and that's all I can really say. So anyway, moving on, looks like the racing is just about to get underway, and I got some confirmation on the weather and all that sort of thing. So there is going to be rain, and then it's going to shift to dry. So it should be at the beginning like we saw in the previous stream in the sprint qualifying, like the beginning of the race there. It's going to be the rain, and then we're going to be switching into the dry probably about midway through the race, somewhere around there. So we'll see how that all works out. But we're ready to get the racing underway. You can see the little check marks go on next to the drivers' names. They are ready to head into the race. And we're just waiting to get into the Grand Prix now. Now we can see the clock at the top of your screen. 25 seconds until the race starts. As we get the 27 laps underway. Thank you so much for joining us so far. If you are enjoying the LFR commentary, definitely like the video and subscribe. I know it was cut short, but just think of it as one video instead of 2 different videos. That's kind of that. So anyway, yeah, moving on. We are just waiting for the drivers to get onto the grid, set their setups, set the correct tires, and then, yeah, I guess we're just going to head into the formation lap, and then the race. It shouldn't take long, probably around 2 to 3 minutes at most. But yeah, we're heading into the race. The sprint qualifying went really well. If you guys did miss out on that stream, definitely go check it out, as there will be a link down in the description down below after the live stream has ended. So yeah, definitely go check that out as we head into the race here today. Now, everyone will be able to score points in today's race. In the sprint qualifying that we had, it was 25 points for P1, and then just the same amount of points for the normal Formula 1 grid all the way down to 10th place. But in the 50% race, there is a bit of a difference in terms of points. There's everyone scoring points, and also there is a reverse grid. I explained it many times in the sprint qualifying, but in case you did not check out that stream, there is a reverse grid. So all the drivers that finished in that sprint qualifying, so whoever like started on P or finished in P1, in this case it would be Tim. So Tim finished P1 in the sprint qualifying. He will start at the back of the grid, and that goes the same for everyone. So it's basically switched all the way around, as it's reversed. It's really just reversed. So, yeah, we're heading into the race now. I do believe Milan Massimo will start on pole position, if I remember correctly. And then it will be LGE Kingsholm, the owner of the league, starting in P2 with Flea in P3. And then I do believe possibly Mr. Basil in P4. I think he's actually P5, though. I'll have to check in a moment. Yes, he is P5 because it's one of the Toyotas in P4. It's Yo-Yo in 4th position. So let's quickly do the rundown of the grid as we head into the race, so you guys know who's starting where. So Milan Massimo starts in P1, as I did mention. For Porsche, he will start in 1st position. For the Grand Prix here today, we got Kienzum in P2 for Ford, starting in 2nd place and looking to take away 1st from Milan Massimo down into the first couple of turns. Looking down to the rest of the grid, we have Flea in P3, starting on the 2nd row of the grid alongside Yo-Yo in P4 for Toyota. And then we got Mr. Basil and Shug's Life in P5 and P6, with Boosted in the Monster Energy car starting P7 with Snooker in P8. Then we got Cass in P9 for Porsche, and Blades in P10, starting on the 5th row of the grid there for Toyota. And then we got the driver that scored a podium last time out, or 2 races ago in Spain, Nem, starting P11 alongside alongside Liam in the Monster Energy car starting 12th. Crossfire Strikes is in P13 with Walter in the Bentley starting 14th and Big Weir in 15th, Court in 16th, Lewis in 17th, Mr. Daisy number 1 fan in P18 and Tim in P19 with Brad rounding off the grid for Toyota. Remember, Tim did win the race, so he's going to start P19, and the reason why he's not starting P20 is because Brad got disqualified, and any driver that got disqualified will instantly start at the back of the grid. Let's quickly get the track map on screen so you guys can see where the teams are and all that sort of thing. We're coming down to Ascari Chicane, turn 8, turn 9, and turn 10. As I did mention in the sprint qualifying, a lot of corners for around here have very difficult exits, so drivers want to cautiously come on the power and shift very fast, so short shift there. And those corners would be turn 2, turn 4, or actually turn 5, turn 7, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, never mind. I'm getting my corners mixed up here. It's turn 2 after the first chicane. It's the exit out of the second chicane, and then it's the exit out of the Lesmos, and then the exit out of Ascari. And then Parabolica, another difficult corner to get completely right, but since you're coming on the power pretty fast, you don't really need to deal with that sort of thing too much. So we're ready to go for the Italian Grand Prix here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. It is a very unique circuit. It's got 11 turns, a circuit length of 5.7 kilometers, 3.6 miles, and that's 2 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking. Later on the race, when the dry tires come into play and the conditions have calmed down, there's no more rain on track, we'll get the DRS enabled down the pit straight, and we're going to see speeds up to around 210 to 215 miles per hour, of course, depending on setups. Now, this is where the lobby froze before. Hopefully, we don't get any freezing of the game here. And it looks like everyone's ready to go. The formation lap is ending. And we're just waiting for those fiber lights to go out as we get the racing underway. All right, so the fiber lights are about to go out for the Italian Grand Prix. And we're just waiting for a good camera angle here. Oh no, the cars are just, they're stopped on the grid again. Not a repeat. Come on, guys, not a repaint. Where even is the start lights? There they are. There's the fiber lights. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. A little bit of a wait, but it's all good to go for the Italian Grand Prix, and it's lights out. And away we go. Great start for the front two. As they're getting away a little cautiously, but Kingsome got the better start and is now leading the Grand Prix. They're 3 wide coming down to turn 1. Yo-Yo and Milan side by side, and there's already a car out. That's Monster Energy car. I think that might be Mr. Basil, who is out of the Grand Prix already. No, and that's a virtual safety car that has been deployed as cars are off the track towards the back of the field. What happened there? I think there's a 5-second penalty for Snooker and a 5-second penalty for Blades as well, and Court and Walter. Not the best start for them, but not the greatest start for Mr. Basil, who was out of the Grand Prix before we even got to the first 2 turns. So a virtual safety car is now underway. Kingsome in the Ford will lead us away for the time being. Yo-Yo got a great start as well. Is up to 2nd position. Not a great start for the 2 Porsches. Milan Massimo is down to 3rd and Flea down to P5. Boosted got a great start as well. He's up to P4 in the Monster Energy car. Looking pretty strong right now. I love that Monster Energy livery. It is very neat to see. As the virtual safety car is now ending, Kingsome will lead us away. Yo-Yo, I think that's... Oh, no, that's Massimo. Going a little wide. Massimo goes wide. Crossfire is up to the 6th now. Crossfire absolutely flying. And if you guys remember from the sprint race, I said that Crossfire would win the Grand Prix. And so far, it's going pretty well for him right now. Oh, that is the Monster Energy car. The 2nd Monster Energy car off the track in the first lap of the Grand Prix. That's the exit of Ascari. Snooker off of Ascari, as there goes Crossfire on Flea. Crossfire now up into P5. Is Flea going to try and fight back against the Ford? He is gaining a lot of time on the Ford driver. And let's see if Flea's going to try and make the move. No, he breaks a lot earlier than Crossfire. Oh, he goes a little bit wide, though, and that invites Cass to go up the inside and into P6. Flea's off the track, trying to get back on track here, making sure he gets on a higher gear so he can properly accelerate. Tim is going to move now into 9th. Tim had a great start, up to 9th position from further down the grid. He's making his way through the field, and meanwhile, Crossfire's up to P5. So great start by him as well. He's starting to close up on Boosted. He's actually starting to close up on Milan Massimo. Massimo, who's actually pretty close to Yo-Yo. And Yo-Yo right in the back of Kingsome, actually. 3/10 behind the Ford driver. And Yo-Yo might be making the move on the Ford driver very soon. It's all about this entrance into Ascari. Looking pretty good so far for the two drivers. It's actually really good for the two drivers. That was a very good exit for all those guys. As Crossfire looking to make the move on Boosted. Now he's right in the back of the Monster Energy car. And also Milan Massimo is trying to make the move on Yo-Yo as well. And let's see if Crossfire is going to make the move. I think he is going to make the move. Boosted went a little too wide, and unfortunately that prevented him from getting the better exit out of that particular section, as Crossfire sets the fast lap of the race at 1:30.216 for the Ford driver. He moves himself up into 4th position. Meanwhile, up in the front, Yo-Yo, Milan Massimo, and Kingsome having a great battle for 1st position. Kingsome still leading the Grand Prix. Yo-Yo in P2, Milan in P3, and closing in is Crossfire and Boosted in P4 and P5 currently. Actually, Cross is going to try and go for the move. This is going really well for him so far. As yellow flag into turn 2. Maybe a car off the track. That might be Flea. I think that is Flea. He's off the track at that corner. Unfortunate, but that's completely fine. We will move on. As Milan Massimo and Yo-Yo looking to possibly trade positions here. Oh, Kingsome, little bit caught. He was wiggling a little bit there. He's going to lose time to Yo-Yo, who might go for the move down into Ascari, but he backs off. As Crossfire's going for it on Milan. Crossfire gets ahead. Good move from the Ford driver. He moves himself up into 3rd position now. Crossfire really going fast. Milan's going to come back, though. He wants that position. Down into Parabolica we go. Massimo, Crossfire, Yo-Yo, and Kingshelm. A great battle forming here. Massimo got a little wiggly off of turn 11. Had to control the car a little bit, and we could see a three-wide moment here as Yo-Yo is going to go for the move on Kingshelm. Crossfire can't make the move quite yet, as it looks like no position changes for the top 3 so far. But Yo-Yo got a really good exit out of that particular section. He might make the move, and Crossfire's got some serious speed out of Curve Grande. We know how quick he is. He's looking to make the move on Yo-Yo, but Kingshelm's right there as well, so he's not going to make the move. As Yo-Yo is going to try and go around the outside of Kingshelm. This might invite Crossfire to go for the switchback maneuver. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 3 drivers there. Massimo's now into 2nd position now, and the rest of the drivers are starting to close up as well, as that is Flea out of the Grand Prix, the Porsche driver, and that's now a safety car. A full core safety car has been deployed on lap 4 as Flea is retired from the Grand Prix at the exit of turn 2. And that is the full core safety car. That is the Ford driver. That's Crossfire. No way. That is Crossfire. He's off the track, and that might have just ended his race. This is drama happening on lap 6. He spun out previously at turn 6, but this is much more serious than the previous spin. And Crossfire's off the track. Was there contact with another driver? I'm not exactly sure, but he's down to P14 and has damage as well. Now this is really going to affect things. Kingshelm into the pit lane for Ford. Kingshelm's coming into the pit lane. Massimo and the rest stay out, where Kingshelm comes into the pits. Interesting strategy here. Will this work out? We don't know. And is it for the softs? Yes, it is for the soft tires. Kingshelm absolutely, possibly pulling the race-winning strategy here. Or it could not. It could backfire completely here. But could this be the move of the race? To pit early onto the softs. It looks like the conditions are starting to go away. Is the rain completely gone, though? Let's find out. The rain is gone. The rain is gone, viewers. The rain is gone. The track is starting to dry up. And Kingshelm was the one driver to come into the pit lane. out of the top 5, which is very surprising. A few other drivers are choosing to do the same. Brad, Crossfire, Walter, and number 1 fan also going for those tires, it seems. Actually, Brad's pitting for the inners, and Walter for the inners as well. Cross and number 1 fan for the mediums. Very, very interesting. So it looks like everyone's probably going to come into the pit lane at the end of this lap. They're going to choose to go in a little bit later. Maybe they didn't feel that it was the best strategy at the time. Maybe they thought that there was still rain coming down and it wasn't the right time to pit onto the dries. It seems like it might be the better tire, though, once the safety car comes in. Because once the safety car comes in, then the tires, the track should be ready for the softs or the mediums. And Massimo revving his engine here, trying to keep heat in the engine in this very cold track right now. And I'm assuming he's going to come into the pit lane with the rest of the drivers. Ooh, he's coming into the pit lane. He is coming into the pit lane. Oh, they're going to get a 5-second penalty. Massimo got a 5-second penalty. As pretty much everyone's getting 5-second penalties. Lewis, Cass got a penalty as well. But everyone into the pit lane that was in the top 5 onto the softs. Now, the question is, where is Keensome going to come out? He's going to come out in P6 ahead of all those drivers. That was a brilliant strategy, though, from Keensome. He pit early, and that was the time to pit because he's now into the race lead, as he was previously, but now he's got a pretty good gap. Interesting, very interesting strategy here. Now, the top 5 have not come into the pit lane yet. Yo-Yo takes over as race leader, Court in P2, Blades in P3, Big Weir in P4, and Shug's Life in P5. Very interesting. Now, everyone else is coming into the pit lane except Lewis. Lewis has come in and pit for the intermediate compound tires, which is very interesting. So the top 5 and pretty much everyone, or actually the top 5 and Lewis are on the intermediates, and pretty much everyone else is on the dry compound tires. Keensome, Cass, and Walter on the softs, where everyone else is on the mediums, as Crossfire Strikes has just been given a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. What was that? I wonder maybe if he just went a little too wide, maybe trying to hurry up to get on the back of the other drivers to catch up to the safety car. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the track is still wet. Maybe he just went a little bit too wide due to the track being very slippery. Kind of looks like that was the case. That is the way it goes. So Yo-Yo will lead us away unless these 5 drivers decide to come into the pit lane. I want to see some sunny skies here today in Monza. That would be very great to see. We've had a lot of rain here today, so I'd like to see some dry what was I thinking? I can't remember what I was thinking. I want to see some clear skies, as everyone seems to be coming into the pit lane that was in the top 5. Yo-Yo, Court, Blades, Big Weir, and Shug's Life all into the pit lane. Same with Lewis as well. Cass has just been given another 5-second time penalty, which is very interesting. Now that we got into the strategy game of things, now that everyone is on the softs or the mediums or the hards, actually, the question is, what strategy is the best? Keensome is on the soft compound tires, Milan on the medium compound tires. Now, which strategy is the better strategy here? Okay, let's take Keensome, for instance. Keensome is on the softs. Now, is he thinking of possibly going soft medium? Maybe trying to stretch these softs out for as long as he can and get a good gap to Milan? Is that the case here? I don't know. I think Milan's trying to go to the end of the race. He should be able to do so. He's got around 20 laps remaining of the race. Those mediums should make it to the end of the race. So that'll be good, unless he's going to pit for the softs, which is definitely possible. Keensome gonna have to pit again. Absolutely, he's going to pit again. The question is he going to, when is he going to pit? That is the question. Well, I'm assuming he's going to try and get that gap to Milan Massimo, at least get a 10-second gap. I think that's what he's wanting here. And then come out right behind, like, maybe Liam, somewhere around there. Depends on the gaps to all the drivers, of course, as the safety car is coming in this lap. So we'll see when Keensome does go. And then try and push and try and overtake a few drivers. We'll see how this all works out for the 4 drivers. Same situation with Shugs, Life, and Yo-Yo, and Walter, and Court, and Big Weir as well. All drivers on the soft compound tires will look to get a good gap on the drivers behind, and then pit, and then give it all. Really, just give it all. We'll see how this all works out. Anything can change in the race, and I'm sure I'm wrong with my strategy here. I'm sure these drivers have a perfect strategy that they're following. As everyone weaving those tires, getting ready to go. Keensum goes a little early, actually, but that's the right call to go. He is going now, and he's got a pretty good gap to Massimo. Massimo got a pretty good start, though. He's got 6/10 gap to Keensum, starting to close up on the 4 driver, as it is green flag. Green flag racing once again here in Italy. It is green flag. No more yellow flags. We got the green flag racing underway, as it is dry tires, it is clear skies, and it is racing all the way. The action returns here today in LFR, as Crossfire and Dazzy making their way through the field as well. Shugs Life and Snooker having a great battle as well. Great battles going all the way down to around 18th, actually. Great to see that. As Dazzy and Crossfire side by side, down to turn 4. It is Crossfire that gets ahead of Dazzy. Crossfire up to 8th after that unfortunate spin that happened at turn 6 a little earlier on, as that is Lewis off the track. What happened to Lewis? He's a little further behind, 4.6 seconds behind Walter, his teammate. Unfortunate to see that, but that is the way it goes in racing. He'll come back stronger in just a few laps time. So Milan's got the gap down to 0.4 of a second to Kingsholm. Milan's going to start chasing after the 4 driver. He's going to have the slipstream from the back of the 4. Now, slipstream is very, very strong for around here. As Liam, side by side with his teammate Boosted. The 2 Monster Energy cars side by side through Parabolica we go. Who's going to get ahead? Oh, contact! Contact, boosted round. Boosted round. All the cars going past him. They got to make sure that they avoid the Monster Energy car. Oh, contact! That's the Ford of Court off the track. You can see him spinning off as well. What happened there? That was on the straight as well. Must have been contact with another driver. Not exactly sure. But Boosted has been disqualified, I think. Yeah, he's been disqualified. What happened there? Oh, that is Cass going through the escape road there. What happened there? Meanwhile, Yo-Yo trying to make the move on Shug's Life. He's the closest to making the move. Actually, Shug's Life is getting very close to Dazzy. And Dazzy trying to make the move on Nem as well. Dazzy's going to go for it into the Lesbos, into turn 1. It looks like Nem will just get ahead, though. Meanwhile, Tim is going on Milan. Tim making his way through the field. He won the sprint race. Now trying to win the official 50% race in his debut here in Formula 4. He's going to go for it on Massimo. Down to Parabolica. Tim's going to get ahead as Liam spins. Liam spins. He's in the middle of the track as well. He's got to make sure that he just avoids all the cars coming through. But it is Tim that gets ahead for now. Massimo trying to come back, though. Massimo trying to go on Tim. Down to turn 1 we go. DRS is not enabled quite yet. It's just full power down to turn 1. Is Massimo going to try and send it? No, he locks up and decides to back off of that one. Tim will get ahead. And Keensom's got to worry, because here comes Tim on those medium compound tires. He's flying right now. And he's closing a lot of time on the 4 driver who's currently in P1. And it looks like Big Weir and Nem having a great battle. Bentley versus Porsche here. As here comes Shug's Life as well. Shug's Life and Nem side by side coming down to turn 4. Oh, the Ford goes wide. Having to take the escape road. And Shug's Life will be down to P9, unfortunately. I wonder if he's got a little bit of damage. It looks like he was going a little bit wide into the first of the Lesmos. That's not the yellow flag, because that's Crossfire on the track in the same place. Then he spun off 2 times ago, and that's a safety car that has been called out again. That corner has really not been liking Crossfire today. And unfortunately, he is out of the race at the same corner. Then he has spun off twice already. This is the 3rd time. Oh my goodness, it has not been the day that Crossfire would have wanted, as that corner has really not been liking him today. Now the question is, oh, they're side by side into the pit lane. Keensom and Tim have come into the pit lane. That was my question, is Keensom going to come in the pits? Yes, he is coming into the pit lane. He'll pit onto the mediums. Looks like everyone's coming to the pit lane on the mediums. Tim onto the mediums as well. Massimo onto the mediums. Brad onto the mediums, I do believe. Let's find out. The two Toyotas into the pit lane. The 94 car gets out well. And looks like the 2 will get out as well. Oh, 34. Sorry, not 94. I thought it was 94. It's 34. But Dazzy will come out in P1, Big Weir in P2, Nem in P3, Walter and Lewis in P4 and P5. The Bentleys running up into the top 5, all 4 of them in the top 5. Now, if we remember from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and the Spanish Grand Prix, Bentley really well did that strategy well done, and they actually won that race because of that strategy. And what they did is they worked as a team. They really did work as a team there to make sure they held off any other drivers coming through. And they focused all their attention on one driver that would win the Grand Prix. And I do believe it was Dazzy that won that race. And could they do the same today? Is that a possibility? We will find out once we get the racing underway, once the safety car comes in this, probably this lap or the next one. All right, and the safety car should be coming in this lap. It might be a very, very late safety car. Once the Monster Energy car reaches the 3rd sector, we'll know. And he's just reached it. And no safety car yet, unless things change. This could be another lap at the safety car. Or this could be a very late call. I think we're going to get another lap. Yes, we will. We'll get another lap at the safety car here today in Monza. So we'll get one more lap. We're going to ride on board with Dazzy for a bit. Taking on board with our race leader as we enter lap 13. Pretty much the halfway mark of the season. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. If you guys want to grab a snack, grab some water, something like that, get ready for the final part of the racing here today. It's going to be a very, very exciting race as we're ready to get the racing underway. 5-second penalty for Milan Massimo. Massimo just got that penalty. He's down in P10, unfortunately. So something happened to him. It looks like It looks like he had contact with another driver or something like that, unless it's a glitch, which shouldn't happen, but it's possible. And Big Weir is going to look to get the good start as well for the Bentley team. He reserved for Porsche last time out. He's looking to get a good result for Bentley today. The British team, owned by Volkswagen, looking to get a strong result. Bentley on the roll. We have a lot of teams owned by Volkswagen today. We have the Bentley team, which is owned by Volkswagen. We have the Porsche team, which is owned by Volkswagen as well. And then we got Toyota, Monster Energy, and Ford. Toyota being the manufacturer from Asia and Japan, of course. And then we got Ford from Detroit in America. Looking to get a good result for the Ford team. So, yeah, Toyota will look to get a good result here as well. And Ford will look to get a good result as well. And then Monster Energy, of course, being not a full constructor that makes cars. They're just a racing team like Red Bull. Yeah, now we're getting the racing underway. It looks like a few 5-second penalties being handed out to a few drivers. A safety car is coming in this lap. Dazzy will lead us away. Now the question is, where is he going to go? Is he going to go now? Yes, he is. He goes now. Oh, actually, no, he's not. He's going very early. It's a Mugello. It's a Mugello. Now he goes. Now he goes. As a lot of drivers speeding past, Lewis got a great start. Is now moving himself up into 3rd position now from 5th on the grid. That's working out really well. Nem trying to break later, though, and get ahead, though. But Lewis is going to get ahead of the Porsche for now. Keenstone trying to get ahead of the Porsche as well as there's a Toyota off the track. That's Tim off the track for Toyota. A lot of action, though, as Lewis now getting on the back of number 1 fan who's been overtaken by Big Weir. Big Weir got ahead into P1 of the Grand Prix on lap 14. It is the Bentley 1, 2, 3. And Bentley lead for the Italian Grand Prix once again. They are 1, 2, 3. A few races to go. And somehow, every race, they have been 1, 2, 3 at some point during the Grand Prix. As that is Milan Massimo out of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, becomes the 5th retirement of the race. We'll see him back at the next one as Tim has just overtaken Walter and has now moved himself up into P5. Looks like Shug's Life and Nem. Nem moving down the field. What's going on with Nem? Does he have damage? I think he does, unfortunately. Yeah, Nem's got damage. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate, of course. That's not the greatest place. This track is not the greatest place to get damage because you want to make sure that you make the corners correctly, and especially at the start of the lap. Oh, 3-wide moment. 3-wide moment between the Toyotas and the Fords. One Toyota very off the track. He's probably going to get a penalty for that. As Shug's Life and Blades side by side for Ford and Toyota. The team from Japan and the team from America going side by side. There's also the Monster Energy of Liam going side by side as well. Oh, here goes Shug's Life and Blades. Shug's Life gets ahead. Blades down to P9. Liam trying to get in the mix as well. He's side by side with the Toyota coming down to Curve Grande. The Monster Energy car will get ahead as Blades will just keep behind Liam. Meanwhile, Lewis and Keensholm having a nice battle as well. They swap positions there. Keensholm gets ahead for now. Lewis in P4. Tim trying to catch up as well. The Toyota car is flying down the straight to meet with the Bentley and the Ford. Lewis going for it down to Scar. Here we go. Who's going to get ahead? They're side by side into turn 8. Lewis goes off the track. Keensholm gets ahead. Lewis off the track. Keensholm gets ahead. So the Ford keeps ahead for now. Tim is now right in the back though. As Tim comes down into Ascari, now into Parabolica. The Toyota car will look to get ahead of Lewis. Lewis will try to re-overtake Keensholm there, as that is a yellow flag. And that I do believe is Snooker in the Monster Energy car down in P11 currently at the exit of Ascari. But we're going to see a three-way battle for P3 here. Keensholm trying to keep ahead of Lewis, who's trying to keep ahead of Tim as well in the Toyota. Coming down to turn 1 into the first turn. Here comes Lewis. Trying to keep ahead, but Keensholm defends the line and keeps ahead for now. Tim will look to get ahead as well. He's got to make sure he gets the line off of turn 2. He is gaining time on the Bentley. He's using the slipstream. He's going to go for it. It's Sebastian Vettel Fernando Alonso moment possibly right there, and it looks like a very good move for Tim. He keeps ahead and gets ahead. Good move from the Toyota driver. And we just had a comment that came in. It said, "Awesome job with the commentary, sir. Keep up the great work." Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I'll keep up what I'm doing as we see some more action. I definitely will keep this going because we have Tim and Kinsome side by side. Tim goes a little off the track though, unfortunately. So Tim Chapat in the Toyota going off the track. Kinsome using the power of that Ford to try and get ahead of the Toyota into parabolic. Here we go. Tim keeps ahead though. Kinsome's gonna look to get ahead into turn 1. He may be down to P4 for now, but he's gonna look to keep ahead of that Toyota at the exit of turn 2. DRS enabled. He's closing. He's going for the move to the outside line. Here we go, down to turn 2 and turn 1. It is Kinsome that just about gets ahead for now. Yes, he does get ahead, and he leads of that battle out of turn 2. But Tim, right on the back of the Ford. He's got major speed coming out of Curve Grande. Kinsome looking to defend the outside line. Tim trying to go the inside, which will become the outside line. As they're side by side, keep it going. Oh, and there's contact there. That was just not going to end up well. Safety car has been deployed as well. And why has that been deployed? Because I think that's Snooker off the track and out of the Grand Prix. So the full course safety car is out on track. That was not going to end up well between Kinsome and Tim as they were side by side. And there was just not enough space there. I think that's a racing incident between the two. The stewards will probably take a look at that though. But there is a third safety car that has been deployed. Snooker's now out of the race. And we get our 6th retirement of the Grand Prix. 14 drivers still in this one, and this is absolutely perfect for Big Weir, who's going to come into the pit lane and most likely pit onto the softs. I'm assuming pretty much everyone else will also be doing the same strategy here. Here comes Big Weir into the pit lane. Now, the curious thing is, will Daisy number 1 fan stay out, or will he come in? He's going to stay out. Okay, he's going to stay out. That's very interesting. Meanwhile, Kinsome comes into the pit lane as well. Tim into the pit lane. Yo-Yo into the pit lane. Everyone pretty much in the pit lane. Except Court and number 1 fan. So number 1 fan will retake the lead of the race. And it's going to be the 2 Fords in 2nd and 3rd. And Liam in P4. Big Weir will exit in P5 for Bentley. And it will be Kinsome in P6. Yo-Yo in P7. Tim in P8. Blades in P9. And Lewis in P10. On those medium compound tires. Actually, Lewis will most likely get ahead of Blades here. Yes, he will. There he goes. Up into P9 now. So Lewis will split the 2 Toyotas. Now, unfortunately, Tim, because of that spin, it made him lose some time and lose a position to his teammate Yo-Yo. So that's going to be a little unfortunate, but that's the way it goes in racing. Alright, so we're here on lap 18 out of lap 27 at the Italian Grand Prix at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza circuit. The circuit is a very historic one in Formula One history. While we have this time, let's talk about where we are. So the first ever winner here in Italy in Monza was Giuseppe Farina with Ferrari. And it is located in Milano. And it's famous for its fashion. I think Milano is definitely famous for its fashion. It is one of the cities I think about when I think about like fashion and all that sort of thing. It is a very unique city in that way. A lot of the like AlphaTauri merchandise, you know, they have that brand. It's from Milano. It is a very awesome brand. But yeah, and it's also famous for its art and architecture, as a lot of cities are, like Barcelona, which we were 2 races ago, Azerbaijan, a race ago. But yeah, the city is very, very phenomenal. Italy just doesn't host one race; it also hosts a second race as well. In Imola, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That's a little further away from Milano. It's in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, which is in Bologna, which is where like Ferrari is, AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri is actually in Faenza, and then Ferrari is in Maranello. So yeah, that's where that is. Yeah, Maranello is where the Ferrari headquarters is, and I do believe it is 192 kilometers away from Milano. So it's not too far away, I would say. But yeah, that's just how that is. So that's where the amazing Ferrari headquarters is. It is a beautiful headquarters, of course. Everyone knows Maranello, which is Ferrari. This circuit has had some incredible moments in Formula One history. It used to be the oval. It used to be a very a different track, of course, with the oval. It's still there today, but it's just not used, of course, because F1 doesn't race around an oval, and actually no one really races around the oval. As Daisy, #1 fan, is coming into the pit lane. Daisy into the pit lane. Daisy into the pits on medium compound tires. Now that is very surprising. He's going to exit in P12. That is 13, actually. Now, why has Daisy come into the pit lane? He was leading the Grand Prix. He doesn't have any penalties. I'm very surprised why Dazzy's come into the pit lane. But that's how it is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he thought that that was the best strategy. Maybe he's going to be able to come through the field. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. So Court and Shug's Life will lead us away. For Ford, they'll be in P1 and P2. And then we got Liam in the Monster Energy in P3 with Big Weir in P4. And then we got Kingsome in P5 with Yo-Yo in P6, Tim in P7, Lewis in P8, Blades in P9, and Walter in P10 for the Bentley team. It is going to be an incredible race, guys. I hope you guys can continue on with us. Keep subscribing to the channel, liking the video if you're enjoying it, and following us as well on the LFR social media, YouTube and Instagram and all that sort of thing. These guys have both of that. But before we get the racing underway, I just wanted to mention there is a few moments in history for around here in Italy. Throughout the previous Grand Prix, there has been one of the most amazing racing in the history of the sport. But back in 1989, after Senna crashed out, there was 2 Ferraris on the podium. They finished first and second in their home country, which should have been absolutely incredible. Schumacher also wins his home race in 1996. That was a very special moment for Michael and for Ferrari. And then 2008 saw Sebastian Vettel win for Toro Rosso. And then Leclerc wins his second race in F1 with Gasly in 2020 and Ricciardo in 2021 winning their respective victories. So we're ready to get the racing underway. The formation lap is over and Court is going to lead us away in the next couple of moments. He's the third driver to lead us away under the safety car. And he's going to go all the way to the line. And he's going to go now. There he goes. He goes very early. It's almost a 3-wide moment between a few of these drivers. It is going to continue to be a 3-wide moment between the Monster Energy of Liam, the Ford of Shug's Life, and the Bentley of Big Weir. Big Weir gets ahead. 3 wide. Down into turn 4. Or down into turn 2. There's a Toyota off the track. That's Yo-Yo. He kind of got forced off the track a little bit there. As the Fords are now running first, 4th, and 5th. Kingsome now up to 4th. Big Weir up to 2nd. Now he's going for a move on Court. Right on the outside we go. Down into turn 4. Big Weir, what a move that was. From the Bentley driver, he moves himself up into first position. And now it's Liam on Court. Liam gets ahead. Liam into 2nd place for Monster Energy. It is now Ford sitting 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Court's going to look to retake 2nd position off of Liam, though. As we come down to Ascari. Liam trying to keep ahead, and he does. He does keep ahead for now. Meanwhile, Tim and Nem side by side. Oh, car off the track. Oh, dear. Tim in the wall. It looks like, oh, he's reset the track. Tim and Nem. Oh, that's a Bentley off the track. That's Walter out of the race. That's Walter out of the race. Hopefully no more safety cars. Oh, no. Another safety car. A fourth safety car. My goodness. Another safety car. But that has to be brought out because there's a stricken Bentley off the track at turn 8. But what happened there between Tim and Nem? Something happened there between Nem and Tim. Looks like Tim went off the track and maybe couldn't control his car, and unfortunately he had to, maybe he just couldn't control the car and went straight into Nem. It looks like Nem was the driver. He was just driving, and unfortunately Tim just went into him. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But that is the way it goes. What is going on with the wing there? They took off the wing, but the wing was still there, and then they put a third wing on top of the other wing, and all the graphics were glitching on the front. This game sometimes, guys, sometimes it can be very, very, I guess interesting is the word to put it. I hope they fix some of these glitches, but it is kind of funny to see some of the glitches where we see the wing being taken off, but the wing is still there, and then they put on a new wing on top of the wing that was already there. It is so confusing. It's incredibly confusing. We have another comment that came in. We have a comment on more Cord supporters. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Cord's having a great race right now. He's in P3. He's looking to get a podium. So keep up the support for Cord. Also keep up the support for the other drivers as well, as we want everyone to do well in today's race. But I just want to say, yeah, I mean, great to see some Court supporters in the comments. So keep up the great work and supporting him. As now Liam's going to come into the pit lane, so Court will move up to second position. Liam's comes into the pits onto the soft compound tires. He should exit in P5? I think P6. He'll exit in P6 unless Kingsholm overtakes him, which is definitely a possibility. Let's find out. We'll find out in a moment if this is going to be happening. So here comes Kingsholm. There's Liam out of the pit lane, and Liam will exit in P6. We've had a long race here today. We've had a glitch at the start. We've had a sprint race. We've had 4 safety cars during this race. We had a lot of lead changes. 2 of the drivers that were possibly going to be winning the Grand Prix are pretty much out of contention. Tim down in P12 and Crossfire down in P17. I thought they were both going to be in contention for the race victory, but unfortunately, unfortunate events happened to the both of them. And that put them pretty much out of contention. Crossfire, turn 6, and him didn't really have the greatest day, as turn 6 kept hitting back at him. You know, like he kept crashing out in that particular section of the track. It was not working good for him at turn 6, and that's the second Lesmo, in case you were wondering there. And it just didn't work out. It did not work out for Crossfire today. He was coming into that corner, and it looks like he spun a few times, and unfortunately that ruined his race a few times, as the third one ultimately got him out of the race, which of course was unfortunate. So Big Weir will lead the race. I think he'll be the 4th different driver to lead the safety car. Actually, you know what? I think he led the 2nd safety car, if I'm not mistaken. I hope we don't get a 5th safety car. I will absolutely be stunned if we get a 5th safety car. All right, so the safety car is coming in this lap. Hopefully this will be the last safety car, as we have had 24 laps, 4 different safety cars, and many different lead changes. Who knows what's going to happen, guys? Who do you think is going to win the Grand Prix? Let me know down in the comments down below as we head into the exit of turn 11 at Parabolica, and we'll find out who is going to be winning this race. My money's on Big Weir, but let's find out. So through Parabolica we go. Where is the Bentley driver going to go? He goes now. He goes very early, actually. Yeah, a little bit early to what Court did a little bit earlier on. Court went a little bit later. But Weir gets ahead, and we'll get a pretty good gap to Court. 0.2 of a second as Liam and Cass having a nice battle as well. Liam gets ahead. Kingsome and Cass side by side as well. And Lewis try and make the move as well. Shug's Life right in the back as well. Lewis trying to make the move on Cass. Let's see if he can do it as Keensome's going on Nem. Side by side down to turn 1. Also Yo-Yo and Court. Oh dear, Yo-Yo's car went airborne for a little bit. Forced Court to go off track there as the 2 Toyotas are further down the grid. That's Tim Chaput down at the back. Spinning off, unfortunately, as Keen's up to P5. Nem down to P6. Shug's Life got ahead of Cass, and Lewis got ahead of Cass as well. We have some side-by-side moments, it looks like, as Liam and Yo-Yo swap positions. Liam gets ahead for now, but Yo-Yo looking to come back and get up into second place. He knows that he could possibly get into a top 2 here, which would be absolutely incredible. And Keen's home side-by-side with his teammate Court. They've been working really well together as they're going side by side down into Parabolica. Keensome and Court side by side. He'll get ahead. And Keensome will get ahead of Court for now on those fresher soft compound tires. Liam on the 2-lap-old soft compound tires. He could be going for the victory here. Oh, contact. I heard contact. I think that was either Keensome or Court. Possibly having some contact with each other. Not exactly sure. Lewis now trying to get on the back of Court as well. Yellow flag. Meanwhile, as Nem is off the track, Lewis right in the back of the Ford as we enter the second to last lap of the race. Now we're going to see a Ricardo Vettel moment from 2014 where Ricardo switches to the other side of the track. No, it is not going to be that, as there's a little bit of contact between the two. Court and Lewis make a little bit of contact. Court will stay ahead of the Bentley driver for now, but he goes a little bit wide, and Lewis is going to try and go around the outside at the second Lesmo. They are side by side down to the second DRS straight. Court will look to get ahead, but Lewis is coming back into Ascari. Are they going to risk it and go side by side? Yes, they are! Oh my goodness, keep it clean, keep it clean, keep it clean. Oh my goodness, that went really well. Oh, there's a car in the wall though. That's one of the Toyotas. Is there 3 wide? 3 wide down to Parabolica. Dazzy, Court, and Cass. What action we're seeing here. This is beautiful. Beautiful action. Look at all the cars as Tim is making the move on Shug's Life. Tim's going to try and make the move on Dazzy. Dazzy's going to try and go for it on Court. 3 wide once again down to turn 1. Tim trying to get in the action. Oh, the Ford's been spun around. That's Shug's Life off the track. Contact, a lot of cars on track, and unfortunately the Ford is spun around. As we enter the final lap of the Grand Prix, will Keensome make it up on the podium? Will Yo-Yo make it up to second place? Keensome right in the back of Yo-Yo. Will this be a last lap pass for third position? We will find out in a moment. Yo-Yo goes wide. Keensome's gonna send it down the inside. He goes. Oh, that was a good move, but Yo-Yo's coming back. He's gonna, oh, Keensome actually got the DRS. That was really good for Keensome. Now he's gonna go up into P3. But will Yo-Yo try and get ahead as Nem is out of the race? Same corner where Crossfire crashed out. Turn 6 really being, oh, Keensome off the track. Keensome spins. Keensome spins. No! No, on the final lap. Oh, dear goodness. Blades and Keensome had contact, turn 6 and turn 9. Unfortunately, did not work out for drivers, but Big Weir comes across the line now to win the Italian Grand Prix. On the final lap of the race, drama struck. Nem crashed out at turn 6. Blades and Kinsome made contact and crashed out at the exit of turn 10. But wow, what a race here today. That was absolutely insane. It is Big Weird that wins for Bentley, though. It is also Liam in P2 and Yo-Yo in P3. But I cannot believe what just happened. Kingsome spun. I can't believe it. It was going so well for him and 2 corners to go. It didn't work out. Oh my goodness. That's super unfortunate for him. Unfortunately, he will be DNFing on the final lap of the race. Unfortunate for Blades as well and Nem, who all crashed out. Nem crashing out at turn 6 at the second Lesmo, and the 2 other drivers crashing out at turn 10. But that's completely fine. They'll move on to the next one. Of course, they'll be hurting from that one, but they'll come back at the next one. So it is Blades. Sorry, not Blades. Big Weir on top with the fastest lap of the race at 122.7. The only driver that got... Actually, I was going to say the only driver to into the 122s, but also Cass and Lewis got into the 122s. But Big Weir from 15th on the grid finishes in first. What a race from him here today in Monza. He wins the Italian Grand Prix. Liam in P2 and Yo-Yo in P3. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I cannot believe what has just happened here today. What a race. What a race. It had everything, guys. It really did. It had rain. It had safety cars. It had overtakes. We had like 4 cars side by side. It had action all the way. It had cars spinning out on the final lap of the race. It had some crashes as well, which of course were unfortunate, but they'll move on to the next one. They definitely will. But wow. Absolutely incredible. What a race. They'll move on to the next one, which will be absolutely incredible as well. But I'm sure they'll all be talking about the Italian Grand Prix because that truly was an incredible race. Quite long one as well, but that's completely fine. Sometimes we need those long races. All right, so we're heading in to the loading screen now, and I think we're going to end things off. Looks like that should be it for everything. And I'm just looking up everything that's going to be happening in the future races. So, I think that pretty much concludes everything for the Italian Grand Prix. I don't think there's anything else that we need to cover. There was a lot of action out on track for the Italian Grand Prix. Truly enjoyable. I cannot wait for the next one. That one will be definitely incredible to witness. So that was the Italian Grand Prix round 4 here in Formula 4 on the Thursday division. I'm Formula Jonah, your commentator for today, and I hope you all enjoyed the Italian Grand Prix. Your race winner is Big Weir. Congrats to him. Congrats to the other podium finishers as well. Liam for Monster Energy and Yo-Yo for Toyota. Great to see all 3 teams on top of the podium. So that is it from us here today at LFR. It was a truly enjoyable race. I hope you all enjoyed that one, and I think that pretty much concludes things. So before I round off things, I just want to mention that the next race will be the Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka circuit in Japan. Toyota's home race, so hopefully they can get a good result as well. That'll be fun to see how they can do. So we'll see you all then for the Japanese Grand Prix next week, round 5, same exact time. We'll see these 5 different teams with these 4 different drivers going at it again at the magnificent Suzuka circuit. So, see you next week, and until the next one, peace out.